Ladies and gentlemen, why should I stop talking about it when everything that I've stated since 2017, Clinton 2020 is a reality, getting ready for 8 years of Trump. When I wrote about this in the Huffington Post in 2017, the article's below. It will be the biggest political call of all time. Clinton 2020 is a reality, get ready for 8 years of Trump. Start sharing that article, please. The link is below in the pinned comment. And share my other writing too if you find, for example, I wrote about how President Trump should pardon Michael Flynn in The Federalist. So anything that you find, any article you find interesting, please share it. But I wrote Clinton 2020 is a reality, get ready for 8 years of Trump in the Huffington Post, February of 2017. Go type in Joe Biden, go type in Hillary Clinton on Google. Clinton is going to be nominee. It won't be Biden, the whole thing's a charade. What's going to take place is this. Biden is going to have a steady stream of horrible, horrible news stories. We know that he could be guilty of a really horrendous act. And we know in terms of words like credibility or pattern of behavior, he has a pattern of behavior that far surpasses anything Trump or Kavanaugh was accused of. You can go and see just endless videos of Biden encroaching on people's personal space in the most absurd and really gross manner. And then the New York Times says, well, Biden doesn't have a pattern of behavior like Trump, aside from, and then they list all the all the bizarre physical issues Biden has with people. But look at what's taking place. Biden is going to pick his vice president in a week or 2 weeks or tomorrow. Who knows? Could be Elizabeth Warren. Could be Whitmer. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, it'll be a female vice president. Now, Bernie Sanders is done completely for forever in terms of any chance. Well, he never had a chance this year. He had a chance in 2016. When people were going after me on the left, he promised Hillary would be indicted. It's like, oh my God. If Bernie had top secret intelligence on top secret servers, you better believe the Clinton camp wouldn't be like, well, that's a conservative talking point. No, they don't care. They don't. When Philippe Reigns goes on Fox News and said, if Madam Secretary wants to run, she will, and people, don't have to vote for her. Nobody says, oh my God, how could somebody from a Clinton side go on Fox News? But if Tulsi Gabbard does, they say, you see, she's going on Fox News. That's why, thank God, I'm a Trump supporter, very happy. He is a great president. When you look, the beginning of détente between North and South Korea, and we know a lot of things are going on now, but it's still a monumental paradigm-changing moment. Nobody gives Trump credit for that. President Moon Jae-in of South Korea stated that he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Nobody gives President Trump credit for bringing détente between North and South Korea, ending America's longest-running military conflict. Just the peace deal in Afghanistan, nobody's talking about. President Obama was supposed to do these things, yet he didn't. And he still won the Nobel Peace Prize, and actually he was more militant than Trump ever was. But you have now former neighbor of Joe Biden's accuser, Tari, corroborates accounts. They are using the same standard by which they judged Kavanaugh against Biden. And with an active criminal investigation in the D.C. police. So it's like people on the left are like, oh, so what? Well, could you imagine if Kavanaugh? Could you imagine if Trump had an accuser that filed an actual police report that was willing to go under oath and file the report and if need be take this to court or take this to the legal consequence? Imagine if you had Trump or Kavanaugh and a woman said, you know what, this happened. I'm filing a police report. Because the New York Times stated, well, if you file a police report, you could go to prison if it's not true. So the duplicity and disingenuous nature of the way Democrats and media and liberals in general discuss this it's unbelievable. By the way, if you want to talk about a disgruntled, maniacal force of nature, Bizarro World Goodman, check it out. It's in the description. It's in the description section in the pinned comment. I gave you a sneak peek on H.A. Goodman's other channel, and I gave you a preview also yesterday on this channel. We are approaching 3,500 subs. When it hits, I'm waiting for more wardrobe and some backgrounds, some great posters, and flags, and just some really, really good stuff. But if it gets to 4,000 subs before that, I'll just start the channel. But I'm starting that channel soon. It's me as a character, basically the person you know, family member, friend, coworker, who is the epitome of somebody who just has utter contempt for Trump but doesn't really know why, or thinks he knows why because of the media, and just yells and screeches and is completely unhinged. You will love it. Subscribe to Bizarro World Goodman. The link is below. But ladies and gentlemen, Biden is going to pick a nominee or a vice presidential a vice president. He has consolidated the illusion of unity. The Washington Post is even writing articles. Well, Trump allies are bringing up these allegations. Like, they can't even they can't even find where that outrage was when it was Kavanaugh. They can't even find where it was. They're the biggest hypocrites, the most duplicitous and disingenuous people on the planet. And what they do is they engage in this fake, fabricated, phony outrage on principles that they claim to hold, or based, or fueled by principles that they claim to have. But see, if they're caught with their pants down, literally and figuratively, it's not a big deal for them. When they're caught with their pants down, it's not a big deal, because then they say, well, the Republicans are worse. So they're always running on a curve. Everything's morally relative. They don't have any moral standards. The moral standards they have are completely relative to their quest for political influence and to their belief of how bad Republicans are. So it's not like they're against anyone who's been accused, and that's that. It's, Trump has a bigger pattern because from 2015 to 2016, suddenly 25 people came out and said he did this, this, and that, but none of them would go to the police and actually file a report. Who knows why? This person did file a report against Tara Reade, did file a report against Joe Biden. So you're looking at a situation where there's a complete double standard. But again, aside from the morality aspect of this, which the Democratic Party, the left, they're devoid of any true moral standards. They really are. And there are a lot of good people. There are a lot of really honorable people, but the majority just follow the herd and the paradigm and the groupthink regarding President Trump. Because, you even look at what I don't even want to get into. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. There's a New York prosecutor said something despicable on Twitter. Said, I'm sick and tired of subsidizing Kentucky because Mitch McConnell suggested that states go bankrupt. Well, I disagree with that, but New York has a $6.1 billion budget deficit. A $6.1 billion budget deficit. Kentucky has a $200 million budget surplus. New York has around 30%, over 30% of the cases in the entire country. New York, Michigan, and New Jersey have over half of the lives lost from this current healthcare crisis. Go to the New York Times. You can see for yourself. You add up the horrible, horrible statistics. And on March 1st, Cuomo said the risk the risk remains low for the people of New York. He was completely blindsided by all of this. And so was Schumer, and so was de Blasio. They say, well, Schumer talked about it in an op-ed or a tweet. Then why didn't he do anything about it? He's the senator. He could have told Cuomo or de Blasio or something. They could have prepared the state. They were completely unprepared. Then media says it's Trump's fault. But then when Trump says, let's open up the economy, media says, you have no right, it's the governors. Well, if it's the governors all along, and then the governors then dropped the ball. But see, again, he's going to pick a vice president. Then something's going to happen with either the current controversy he's facing or a new one. He's got more skeletons, Biden. Biden has never been a viable candidate. He was a good vice president because I guess the optics were good where he's just in the background, but then he started, touching and feeling all these people, and people were like, what's going on? But he always used to be amiable, never had any huge scandals up until recently. I'm talking Burisma. I'm talking now this controversy with the allegations. But, I mean, he had a plagiarism scandal in 2008. I don't really know why President Obama picked Biden. I can't really tell you. I mean, there's maybe a litany of reasons. But he seemed to be a good pick. He fit the profile of a vice president. I don't know why he was picked, but he fit the profile. Somebody who was not a threat to become president, really, but maybe a good vice president. Who knows? But the point is, he was never electable. He never had a real chance at becoming president ever. The fact that he is the Democratic nominee cannot be attributed to anything he possesses in terms of positive attributes or a stellar track record. There's no semblance of meritocracy when it comes to Biden. If anything, Biden, would you nominate him for mayor? Would you elect him as mayor of your city? And then they get to Trump. Oh my God, Trump said this, Trump said that. Biden said he wants the cure to be worse than the problem. Notice how every single Biden gaffe they completely sweep under the rug. Every single Biden controversy is now a Trump ally thing. And all the while, you look at it, just type in Hillary Clinton. What do you think Hillary's doing? Oh, goodness. Sotheby's and Google are teaming up to auction off a coffee date with Hillary Clinton. Okay, Madam Secretary is all over the place. Sotheby's and Google are teaming up to auction off a coffee date with Hillary Clinton and other star-studded virtual experiences for charity. I mean, Clinton, the nomination is hers for the taking, which it's always been that way. Everything has been rigged. Everything has been predetermined. I am literally the only person who told you this on all of YouTube and in the entire planet from 2000. I said nominee. Steve Bannon just recently stated, a couple months back, oh, she's going to run. No, nominee. I've always stated nominee. Clinton 2020 is a reality. Get ready for 8 years of Trump because she's going to lose to Trump again. Now, again, I gave her 25% chance. And depending on, any unforeseen 30% chance. Don't underestimate Clinton's the fact that she could possibly win. If you don't take a Clinton candidacy seriously and don't vote, she will win 100%. When she becomes nominee and you say, "Oh my God, this is going to be a landslide," then you lost. We lost the election. Because I'm telling you, you got the media, and this is an existential issue for the media. The media, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, the entire system is going to be predicated on Madam Secretary winning the election. And once she loses again, you're going to see a complete paradigm shift. Or I should say a noticeable one. Maybe not complete, but a noticeable one. Biden, his campaign is basically the Titanic before it hits the iceberg. That's it. The Titanic before it hits the iceberg. Clinton is the iceberg. So I will have made the biggest political call of all time. But it's not about that. It's about this. This is what's really going on. You're talking about a political machine, people. It is not a political party. We DNC fraud lawsuit that waged by Jared Beck, Elizabeth Beck, and Nico House, three very courageous individuals, stated the following. That the DNC lawyer stated the following. In court, it's a private entity. We can pick our candidates in smoke-filled back rooms. We don't need a primary. They don't even need a primary. Now, the logical way of looking at it is, well, then how do they get Clinton to run if she's not even on the ballot? She's not even running. Again, pledged delegates are not legally bound. I keep saying this. And I'm quoting 538. I quote, this is why YouTube defended me. And from one journalist trying to say, oh, I don't know what. I did a segment on that. I am in pristine, always in pristine relationship with YouTube because every one of my segments I quote from the New York Times, the Washington Post, 538 here. So, the Barons, Hillary Clinton sting, Patrick Stewart, other luminaries join forces for charity. Okay. And then Joe Biden, you type in Joe Biden, and former neighbor of Biden accused retiree corroborates account. So, and then the Washington Post, this is hilarious. Take heart, progressives. When the party moves left, Biden has always followed. I thank God I'm a Trump supporter. I thank God. Because you're voting for somebody in Trump who goes after corrupt intelligence officials. The left loves corrupt intelligence officials. You're voting for somebody in President Trump who is bringing, hopefully, peace eventually to North and South Korea. The left doesn't care. The left, unfortunately, does not care about bringing home Americans from America's longest-running military conflict in Afghanistan. The left has its own, the far left has its own list of things to accomplish. None of which, because Biden even stated that he would veto a Medicare for All bill. But again, Madam Secretary has always been in the driver's seat. Biden was just good enough to defeat Bernie Sanders, who was a media creation and who couldn't even endorse the pundits that endorsed him this time around. In 2016, he actually had a viable campaign. Conservatives were looking at Bernie Sanders because he reached out to everyone. He wasn't just a media creation. We can go on forever. Give me your thoughts below. Subscribe to Bizarro World Goodman. It hits 4,000. I'm doing my first segment, and we'll rock in it, and it's going to be great. And who knows? You can show your friends segments, and you say, "Hey, this is how you look. This is what you sound like. This is what you sound like when you don't want to be friends anymore. This is what you sound like when you're just, maniacal and frothing at the mouth and in this hysterical, frenzied manner, yelling about." Trump saying whatever that the media said he said, which he actually didn't even say, but whatever. So it's going to be satire, it'll be a catharsis, it'll be therapeutic, and it'll be a comedy channel. That's going to be, Bizarro World Goodman is going to be a comedy channel. So it's just pure entertainment. In terms of the reviews from my audience, I would say easily 95+% of the people who did make a comment about the segments that I did previewing it, loved it. So, anyway, give me your thoughts below. If you want to support my voice long term, your support is greatly appreciated. And my Patreon link is below in the pinned comment and description. People, Hillary Clinton is going to be nominee like I've stated forever. I will have made the biggest political prediction of all time. It's now the H.A. Goodman prophecy. I will say this, though. The prophecy is Clinton becoming nominee. My prediction is that President Trump's going to win. Hillary Clinton could become president if the Trump campaign and Trump voters do not take Clinton seriously. because this time around, she's almost certainly going to be in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania all the time, and and Florida. So give me your thoughts below. And she could actually win with a tie because the House of Representatives then decides if she wins Michigan. No, sorry. If she wins Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Maine, which is feasible, and President Trump wins then Florida and Michigan and Ohio, map stays the same, but Clinton wins Wisconsin, Iowa, Pennsylvania, and Maine. It's 269, and then the tiebreaker is the House of Representatives. Then she becomes president. So, give me your thoughts below. You have to vote this year. Vote for President Trump. Give me your thoughts. Subscribe to Bizarro World Goodman. I'll be your worst nightmare on that channel.